boys and girls, welcome to my channel, I'm for Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today, what I do have needed is Twin Mirror, a game developed by the Don't Nod Entertainment, and it is using Unreal Engine 4. So in case you don't know Don't Nod, these guys are the responsibles for games like Life is Strange, Tell Me Why, but not only story-driven games. These guys also did develop different games, like for example the most old one, which was Remember Me, and the most recent one, which is Vampire, which is a different concept than Life is Strange. But this game, this specific game over here, it is a Life is Strange style. So Twin Mirror, it goes that route. So Twin Mirror, yes, it is another of those games. And today we are here to test the performance on the HD 7850, which should be pretty much equivalent to an R7 265 or an R7 370. So my recommended settings for this game, it is to go with 1080p high settings, not ultra though, but high settings, and it does look pretty good. And if we look to the requirements, it is interesting to see that the minimum requirements, they just ask for 4 gigs of RAM, a Fan and 2 CPU, so if you still have a Fan and 2, you are able to play this game. And also for a graphics card, these guys ask for an HD 7790, which means that we are slightly above the minimums over here. I'm not really sure what they do consider the minimums, probably 60 frames per second 1080p. But, I mean, these are the results that I did gather. So in my benchmark, what I was able to see is that if you go with ultra settings, despite the average was 32 frames per second, the game spent a lot of time below 30 frames per second. So it was 34% of the time lower than 30 frames per second on my benchmark. So for me, my recommended settings, it is to go with high settings, since it provides an experience always above 30 frames per second. And since this is a narrative game, you don't really need that much of the frame rate, alright? If you go with median, of course it does improve. So you start to have an average of around 50s, while the high settings provides an average around 40s. So yeah, it's about close to 10 frames more at median settings. But there is a noticeable downgrade from high to median. And so like I was telling you, since this is a narrative-based game, you won't be needing that much the frame rate. You won't be shooting anyone, you won't be targeting anyone. The interactions are quite limited in this game. You know that if you play Life is Strange, you know that if you play Tell Me Why, you know what you can expect from this game. You don't really need the frame rate. The best that you will be doing in this game will be just walking around, taking some decisions, asking some questions, answering some questions. Well, sometimes you might also ask, of course. But yeah, there are some new interactive moments in this game, and some of them, yes, they do require more interactivity from you than the other games, but still, 30 frames per second, it is more than enough for this game, and that's what you should be targeting for this game with this GPU. Alright, that's the way I see it. But what about the game? So what can I say about Twin Mirror? I'm just going to talk based on community reviews and critics, and also based on 2 hours I have played the game. Since the game it is developed by Don't Nod, you know the type of experience that you can expect from this game. Something like Life is Strange or the most recent titles like Tell Me Why. So it's the same type of gameplay. You just talk to the characters, make decisions, and the decisions will somewhat affect your playthrough or the ending. But the thing is, this game and its story, according to the community, it isn't really compelling. Especially the main character, they say that it isn't really interesting and the backstory resembles a cheap TV show. Cheap. There are some new elements into this game which are quite nice, like running away off a thread in a control-ish environment from a guy trying to avoid obstacles, Subway Surfer style. And also we got new elements from Sherlock Holmes games, where we collect pieces of evidences and then we need to pull all the stuff together in the correct order so we can advance. It's nothing new at all, other games have done this, but it's still nice to see more and more stuff being added to the Don't Nod games, aside from just see the story and make decisions. You can expect this game to be completed in about 6 hours. And as for the story, the description page of the game kinda sums it up quite well, so I would just read what's written in there. Sam Higgs was done with Basswood, West Virginia, but it seems it wasn't done with him. When the former investigative journalist returns to his hometown to say a final farewell to his best friend, it soon becomes clear that there are more chapters to be written in its troubled story. Forced to confront his past, Sam finds himself torn between reconnecting with his loved ones and using his unique intellectual abilities to uncover the town's dark secrets. But how do you know who to trust when you are not even sure you can trust yourself? Yeah, that's a big problem there, trusting yourself in this game. The award-winning storytelling at Dontnod invites you on another twisting adventure. Well, community, it is not really satisfied with your story, so yeah. Technically wise, this game it is very well optimized, as you could saw. Any recent GPU included Intel integrated graphic cards can run the game, and like usual, they don't really push the graphics and display the typical Life is Strange 2 or Tell Me Why graphics, so facial animations are mostly the same as the other previous games as well. On Metacritic, the game's score it is 67 from 0 to 100 on 40 reviews by the critics, but the user score it is even worse, so it is 5.5 on average score from 0 to 10. So community it isn't really satisfied with this game. The game it is also an Epic Store exclusive by the time of this video and costs about $29.99, so it's not expensive, but given the score that the game have, it is also not very cheap. So if I would guess, I would say that this game will appear on a sale probably more sooner than we expect, or probably on Xbox Game Pass, who knows. So guys, I think that's all that I want to talk about Twin Mirror. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
I've been meaning to ask you something. Don't freak out. Would you be my little girl's godfather? I wouldn't trust anyone else with this.
And yet I stopped taking his calls. He even called once the day before he died. I'll never know what he wanted to talk to me about.
This is Anna. She works freelance. Does a lot of the human interest pieces.
What can I say? I'm interested in humans and their pieces. What do you like to write?
I gotta run to a review with Walt. You two feel free to chit-chat. And Sam, be nice.
I had never met someone so interested in others, even in me.
The story is important. You know I think that. It's just... people around here have short tempers and long memories. Be careful. Sam, are you even listening to me?
I heard you, Anna. But no, I wasn't listening. Come on, Anna, look at this.
What is it? Someone skinny dipping?
Anna, you really need to see this.
I can't even see. Something's blocking it. Sam, what are you doing?
I'm trying to be romantic.
What? Wait. Please don't tell me you're proposing.
I'm down on one knee, a ring. What else would I be doing? You look like I just ran over your grandma. Okay, the silence is really starting to scare me now. Anna, please say something.
Sam, put that away. Come on. I don't want a ring. I don't need a ring. You should know that. We've discussed it before.
We weren't happy. She was the one brave enough to face that. Lost in my head again. How much time did I miss? I missed the funeral. Maybe it's for the best. On the bright side, Nick's not alive for me to let him down again. Sorry, Walter, but I don't think I'll stick around. Given up already? Just a quick, depressing jaunt down memory lane and then you're gone? I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. Lots of hurt. And you might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.